So we can start our the last breakout. I hope you had a great evening yesterday and got a lot of energy for this last one day, last one full day. So let's hear about Liva's thoughts about some educational things. So you may start.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody. I hope you had a good sleep. And just knowing that it's 9 o'clock and we're having a really busy week and everybody's maybe tired, we should warm up a little bit before we start to move our brain. We should move our body. So could you please stand up? Well, nothing really extraordinary. Did you do some stretching this morning? So this is the time to do it. So stretch. You can do. So we need to open up our voices so we can do it like this. It's a really silly exercise, but it really helps. So it's like blowing the candles off. It's like this. So your diaphragm is working, all right? Okay, already warming up, right? It's getting better. So now, if you could all stand in a circle in the middle, like, yeah, you should come out of the other side and make a circle. I won't do anything painful to you, just everybody should be in the same line. Okay, stay where you are. Just we have two lines and not a circle, so it's easier. So you should stay side by side and turn to the right, and put your hands on the other person's shoulders. So yeah. You won't do the circle. I'm sorry. Yeah. So. Okay, are you feeling comfortable like this, or you should move a bit closer maybe to each other? Okay, ready? Yeah. Okay, and now you do a little massage to your friend next to you. Okay. Yeah, don't be afraid. Put your skills to work. Yeah. Okay. Did it hurt?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Did it feel good? Okay. Can we stop this? Okay. And now it's the time for the revenge. So you turn to the other side and give it back.
No, you can't.
Okay.
Relax, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're so nice. Yes, thank you. Okay. So, feeling better already? Okay, now you can sit down. So why did I do that? Not a lot of theoretical background to this actions, because I actually am going to tell you a lot of theory. So just to wake you up, I had to do something. So if you can read my topic, it's ICT and schools, meaning information and communication technologies and schools, and I analyzed it from the perspective of organizational culture. Yeah. Okay, so you can prepare your pillows now. Yeah. So this presentation is based on my thesis, the research I did according to that, and yeah, what does this mean actually? The thesis was named Development of an Innovative Learning Culture Among Teachers. Well, Um, why did I choose it? Um, yeah, it's a hard question. But basically, I was thinking about these mindsets of people. Maybe in Latvia, you can sometimes feel it quite clearly that there are like two cultures, this somewhat Soviet way of thinking, like stagnating a bit, and then there's this really new, fresh look, innovative look at things. And I thought, what makes the difference? And how to make a difference? And how do these mindsets change? And why don't the good ideas spread that easily? And so, yeah. Oh, it looks black. Okay. So, yeah, and I was thinking about, like, let's make some change. And if we make some change, okay, like, let's make something big, like, let's make a revolution. So, yeah. And we're talking about the media revolution. If you maybe have heard of it, that like our civilization went through several media revolutions, and the first one is from the switch from the oral culture to the scriptural culture. Like the old knowledge was stored in people's minds and was just outspoken, and if the person died, the knowledge died with the person. And the scriptural culture, everything was collected in the scripture, so the knowledge base could rise and so on. And the next revolution is transferring to the book culture, so the knowledge base could improve, and yeah, a lot of stuff got printed. And we're kind of in the third kind of revolution, from book culture to the ICT culture. And yeah, and are we on the verge of a revolution? Actually, the revolution has already happened. We just have to deal with it. And yeah, and so yeah, the question is, should schools keep up with this change? And the answer is kind of easy, but it has some ambiguity to it. Like, is the most popular stuff the best? The newest stuff, is it the best? Or we want schools to be ahead of time, not just fancy looking. And so then the concept of innovation comes forward. And so what is the nature of innovation? If we look closer, if we talk about innovation, we want to see some quality and excellence, and especially in economic terms. So it's a competition and so on. It brings us forward. And is innovation process or result? Well, in education, it's more of a process. We just see the end result. It's like the thing that's visible. It's a matter of creativity. Yeah. And when we create new things, the innovation doesn't like obligatory have to be something out of the blue. It's created in a certain context. So it brings something new and valuable to that certain group, to that certain society, and so on. And the creativity has the dark side. Did you know that? The dark side of creativity is like not always the new and creative stuff is good for you. If, for example, you can use your creativity to break the law, or use your creativity to create mass destruction weapons. So yeah. And yeah, is innovation a matter of individual efforts or a matter of culture? So we tend to think so that there are some really creative people, and they create the good stuff, and then there are the rest of us that kind of are not so creative. But actually, a culture matters a lot, because the creative people, they take their ideas from their life situations from their neighborhood and so on. So I would say it's a matter of culture, actually. And what does culture mean? It's kind of like a basic term, but did we ever think about it? And the basic meaning of culture is distinguishing nature and civilization. So what the civilization has created and given to the next generation through socialization. Yeah, and it normally has a limited place and time where it has spread. It is a social phenomenon, saying that these things have been, that artifacts or behavior that we see, it's actually based on the social stuff. It's a pattern of shared basic assumptions, meaning how we see the world, what do we think about it, and yeah, assumptions. So, and there comes the heavy stuff. It's a dynamic, hybrid, socially and historically developed system of social validation. What does that mean? Culture is not static. It changes. It has to change to survive. And it incorporates a lot of things. It's not like all the same. It has developed socially and over time. And it actually stabilizes the society. And yeah, it embodies the contradiction between stabilization and change. Like the culture that we have, it brings us some security, and we know how to approach the life and how to approach the people. And then there is this change. We have to adapt to new situations. So the culture needs to adapt to survive. Yep. And so, oh, this is cool. Yeah, and in fact, schools tend to be quite conservative institutions. Yeah, and there are certain obstacles to change in schools. Like, for example, anticipated actions are rewarded. Like the stuff that's expected, we get rewarded for that. But if we create something new and totally different, then we might get some trouble. That's about it. And this formalistic approaches to change. The boss told us to do something, we just do it. Like it just doesn't really involve us. The time management in school. This is a structure of lessons. At certain periods, there's tests, and there's like a really ordered sequence of time, so we don't actually have a lot of options to manage it with the creativity. Yeah, and grades as indicators of success. We already discussed that. Yeah, does it matter that I have an 8 in maths, or maybe it matters more if I can use this knowledge in the life situations, but how can you measure that? And yeah, and there is quite narrow understanding of professional development of teachers, at least in Latvia. This is organized mostly as these courses of further development, so there is not much talk about workplace learning or stuff like that. And there are certain projects that bring forward, for example, some technology, and certain teachers apply and they study that, but the other ones don't care and they don't get the knowledge. So it doesn't spread over all of the system. Yeah, and then there is this ever-shifting educational paradigm. At least in Latvia, in articles, they talk about it like for 10 years at least, but it's always shifting. It never actually changes to the new paradigm. So, do you know what's paradigm? Okay, so I have to explain it. By the way, it's not me jumping on a huge egg near the school. Yeah. So, paradigms. Those are like, I won't explain you any definitions or anything. Those are like big ideologies, these basic assumptions that we have about certain things. And in this case, I want to introduce you to 4 curricular ideologies, like that are the basis of creating certain types of curriculum. And there is this researcher, Michael Schiro, and he has made up these 4. So they basically introduce all the other theories. So you can very easily use these 4. And those are scholar academic ideology. It means that the knowledge is the core of everything. And we have to keep the old knowledge that has existed and have to give it to our newest part of the society, the children. So this is more like a teacher-centered learning approach, I would say. And so it's about inherited knowledge that is organized in academic disciplines. So very academic, very formal way. And there is the next one, the social efficiency ideology. It's in a couple of words, it's this ideology tells that the most important thing is that the young people, they find their place in the society. So sorry to the artists. So they cannot, maybe some people think that, well, you cannot earn money with arts, better study something else. So this is the kind of ideology that you base upon. The next one is the learner-centered ideology. So obviously the learner, the student, is in the center of everything, his individual development. Yeah. And the social reconstruction ideology, it's a lot about changing the society rather than just entering it and applying to the rules. In its core idea is to create a more just society. So these are the 4 ideologies, and mostly they're mixed up together. That would be like the thing, because none of them are better than any others. Normally they're mixed. Yeah. Yeah. So how to change a mindset? How to change our ways of thinking? How does that happen? If we talk about the culture, the stronger the culture is, like talking about organizational culture, like this is how we do it in here, and no other way. So in a strong culture, it resists to change more, because before it worked to solve the problems. We could solve the problems in this certain way, but yeah, it worked. Why should we change? And then there's like a really important stuff, transformative learning. And what does that mean? On the process or the content or the premises of a certain thing. So, and if you find that some assumptions are wrong, then yeah, then we start to change our thinking. We think, well, maybe it's wrong with our assumptions about some things, about our views. So then the transformative learning can happen. And then there's this expansive learning, which is, well, I would say a transformative learning, but in a group of people. So that group of people transform their way of working and their way of being together. Yep, and for the teachers and any other people that work, like changing their mindset is a lot about connected to workplace learning, learning in action, learning by doing, and experimenting, and also being able to fail and not to have like a disaster. So it's normal to experiment. How are their worldviews and so on. Yeah. So can you follow me on this part? Yeah? Okay, that's nice. So I created this crazy awesome model. Um, and basically, I don't know if you see that part, but yeah, it's about how this organizational culture works. Uh, oh yeah, no, you can't see it. No, all right, I'll have to use it my hand. So old school. So this is the school culture, and in the culture, the leadership is like really important thing. A leader can change the way culture develops pretty much, can influence that. And this is the leadership, this part of school culture. And then there is this external adaptation that school adapts to the environment around it. So the school is not a like encapsulated unit, and everything around it is like it doesn't bother us. So the school needs to adapt to the world outside of it. And internal integration, it means it's the processes that happen inside the school, so between people, and yeah, and this is where the learning culture of teachers come out of. So the learning culture is just those aspects of this school culture that concern learning in this case. And so the teachers they organize the learning process and take care of this learning environment. And the basic aim is the learning experience of the student, obviously. And well, why this all matters? The most thing like I learned when I did all this stuff was about the importance of feedback. So yeah, that's what those arrows mean. Yeah. And so we go on. So what is the learning culture that works well? Well, if we look at the teachers, I've missed out something. Yeah. So as we look at the teachers, sorry. Yeah. So it's kind of obvious. The learning is the continuous approach to the work activity. So we're always learning. We're not learning in certain amounts of time. Yeah. Okay. I will skip this a bit. Yeah. It's a lot about risk-taking, problem-solving, experimenting, collaborating, all these things, experiencing, sharing, reflecting upon it, and yeah, the open mindset is like really important. The learner, of course, is in the center of everything. We sometimes forget that, and you cannot set apart this personality of a teacher and his professionalism. It's always everything together. So yeah, this learning should consider that. Yep. So we go back to the innovation topic. Yeah. So what do you think about this? Anything comes up in your mind? No, all right. So yeah, innovation is something challenging to do, because we have to take the risk and make the mistakes, and obviously it might not work in the first time. Creativity in organizational culture matters. yeah, I will skip that. And yeah, I think also when we talk about change, it's inevitable, but it's not an end in itself. Okay. Yeah. So what does this all have to do with ICT and Web 2.0 is the question. So what is the mindset of teacherus modernus, as Edgar said? Yeah. Well, it's surviving the change, maybe. And yeah, I'm close to the end, so I would like to like get some of yours ideas. Um, what does it mean to be a teacher in this ICT culture? What does teacher have to have like different than the teacher that just used books and not the technology? How do you think the teacher should learn how to survive the change?
Collaborating. Collaborating with each other.
But trying, not being afraid. If you don't try, you will change. That's hard. They're afraid of things, and they just don't do it because they're afraid. They will fail and they will break something. And if you don't try, you don't evolve, and you will become teacher of that.
Yeah. Any other ideas, maybe?
Being creative, being updated.
Yeah. All right. Um, yeah. Um, I won't bother with you with this one. So I would just wanted to say, may the innovation be with you. Yeah. I really hope that in this age you'll be as innovative as you could be. Yeah. Any questions? Do we have anything in the back channel? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, we have Philip and Thomas.
Oh, how nice.
I think that the main thing to stay young in your brains, even you are become older within your body, that you are getting this youth energy from your students. That's the thing. You cannot be good teacher if you are sitting alone in the empty classroom and thinking about ways to be creative and active. Yeah. So you are the young students. You are giving the energy to your teachers, and your students will put that energy in you, and you will become as an older one. So that's like that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, thanks. So I see there's something written. Yeah, I agree.
No, it's really, that is the case, because in a sense, if you enter that physical society, whatever that feels, it is very conservative, because there are really many things you have to kind of take from the past and actually use it, or with this kind of education. But at the same time, it's really these two steps ahead that I see that education has to be. It's just massive step, and I see this one as the biggest problem. That we are, well, that education students are themselves.
Yeah. There's this question, have we actually transformed the educational system from the time when there were just books to nowadays? Yeah, it just happens quite slowly.
Do you know the TED Talk or just the Sir Ken Robinson and his ideas?
Ken Robinson?
Posted video?
You mean the TED Talk?
Yeah, about the innovation in education and school.
Yeah.
How they change.
Yeah, you should watch something from Pasi Sahlberg also then. He's an educational expert in Finland and he has really good stuff. Yeah.
Can you put the name on the back channel as well?
Yep. Okay. This is it. Some other activity with.
Other questions, suggestions, reflections, maybe? Thoughts? Are the studies of education are privileged in your country, or this is thing what you should learn, while you can't manage what you can do in other field? So how it is? Because not a lot students of Latvia wanted to study pedagogy because it's very hard, and it should be some coming from your heart, and it's not a big counter for these studies, as instead of psychology or some kind of media design arts, and so how it's in your country. In Estonia?
Is it fashionable to be a teacher?
No, no.
Why?
Because we don't get enough pay. It's a problem for everybody, I think.
But is it about also about the traits of the profession itself, or it's mostly about money?
It's mostly about the money because it's getting better now. People they want to be teachers, but when they think, oh, I have family and I have to live somewhere, then no, I'm not going to study teacher.
Okay.
Same thing here.
Yes.
Well, yeah. So it's a
Yeah.
problem.
So like Finland, teachers don't maybe that high salary, but it's actually really in Finland.
I don't know. The people change something within the, you know, yeah, this is really simple. To what extent, how hard it is that you want to do?
Nobody's tried, I suppose.
Oh.
Yep.
Cool.
So let's have a break.
Then thank you. Now it's not a break. We'll go to the second session. So thank you.
Okay. Thanks a lot.